Snow Northridge changes more than just the weather. Frozen river and lake, plus new saves and extracts, change completely how the map is played. And there are even some other tweaks, which are not really promoted by the developers, which we'll go into as well, and how they affect the gameplay. Let's start off by talking about the most obvious one, the graphic, and I think the graphics changes look amazing. Winter Northridge in general looks amazing. Feedback from what I've heard so far has been in general good. No, it's not only the map, you also see your footsteps, your gun has some snow, helmets and general equipment of people has some snow on it, and it just looks beautiful. And we have the frozen river beyond dam, and I really like it because it means you can rotate very quick from communication to like cable without having to take one of the bridges. It means there are just more ways to rotate, and the sniper spot basically in front of cable now is a lot easier to push. You have more angles to push it from and to get there, which makes sniping there more risky, which is also pretty nice. Just in general, it's good for fighting, it's good for rotating, it's very fast, and it just feels nice. Then we also have some red spots in the middle and an hotel that got removed. So, for those who didn't know, the tree that you see right here in normal Northridge got removed. So it's harder to extract camp people from hotel. You can still use the rocks and most other shit, but that tree that you could sit in got removed. Really good change in my opinion. And then some of the hills in the middle of the map that you could previously get on, or the top of a dam, also got blocked by invisible walls. Though I'm not the biggest fan of invisible walls, at least they're blocked, even though I wish it was in a different way. But yeah, less red spots, and the dam one really needed to happen, so good job. Oh. But the disadvantages are a bit different. One of them is kind of the footsteps, which I like that they're there, but they're basically a useless feature, sadly. Now let's quickly take a look at what the devs said about them.
Now, as you walk through the area, you'll leave footprints for 5 minutes, making it easier for other people to track you.
So when it comes to gameplay, they're basically useless, because how it works is the footsteps of enemies and allies only render for you when he is within a certain range of you, and that's actually very close. I think it's like 20 meters or so. So basically, when you can already hear the enemy because he's so goddamn close to you, only then will their footsteps even appear. And as soon as they go out of range, then you will no longer see them spawning behind them. So it just doesn't make sense. They advertise this. They even advertise it in some like game magazines that this is a new feature of the game, and you will be able to hunt down people over footsteps, but they don't work like that. I don't know if it was intended and like something didn't click. It was rushed or whatever, but it's a really big disappointment that, yeah, you can only see them when they're already like way beyond any like usable range. Like you can already hear them since like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 meters or so, and only then can you see the footsteps. Like it's pointless. You will never use the footsteps to track anyone, because if they're in that range, you just hear exactly where they are. So I was really looking forward to it and using it, but the way it is right now, pointless. It looks cool to see your own footsteps. That's about it. Then, sadly, another negative thing about the footsteps, and that is usually you immediately know where people are off of the sound, because you will hear the metal, the gravel, the stones, or whatever they're on, like walking on. The issue is, outside of cable is, for example, a good example. There are metal parts and there are just normal parts of like a paved way. And both of them have snow on top of them. And both sound exactly the same. So it's a lot harder to recognize where an enemy is if there's just snow, because it all sounds exactly the same. Brass, metal, road, whatever, it just sounds the same when there's snow. And that's honestly kind of annoying. And then like The normal sound of like walking, sneaking in snow, I don't mind it. I think it's okay. But the running sound, because you do not hear anything of what is below, like no difference, it's just always the same. It kind of feels really annoying to me after playing a bit of Snow Northridge. It's just very, very boring to just always have the same sound no matter where you're walking. And then there are always bugs with it. Like for example, inside of cable car are actually areas where you will hear snow and see footsteps, even though there is no snow there. I don't know why. Then for solo ops, it is no longer guaranteed to have an extract at hotel. The extract where you need double dog tags is not guaranteed anymore, which I'm not a big fan of. I feel like if you have to run at the side of the map to hotel and then get to wipe hotel, and well, if you can extract there, you at least have 2 dog tags, right? So like you won some fights. I feel like you deserve to go like to the extract and don't have to like walk across the entire map. Yeah, you're usually very heavy. You have like a backpack that you have to toss, and it's usually like being ratted anyways. There are usually snipers camping there, so I think if you make it out of hotel and then out of the extract without dying to rats, I feel like you deserve it, and you don't have to like walk across half the map again. And cave extract isn't really a thing because it's usually getting taken by snipers. But at the end, we have basically the middle of the map and how it impacts the map in general. You just have more objectives in the middle now, and usually before the rotations were, due to it being a lake, pretty easy. You kind of went like sewage sawmill into cable car, or just communication, cable car, sewage. Like it's basically, it was one road, and if you didn't find people on your objective, then you just rotated to the next one, and the chance of people like going the opposite way and just running into you was actually pretty decent. And now we have way more playable area because the middle of the map is now also playable, which means not only are you less likely to run into people because they're not really running into the opposite direction of you, they could just run to a completely different objective. Yeah, it also means just you have more playable area, right? And you don't have more teams. I feel like it would have been really cool if they just added one more team to Northridge. To like make it equally likely, or a bit more likely than before, to find people. Because Northridge is not really the map where you find the most PvP. It's sometimes a bit hit or miss. And now it's even less likely to run into people because, well, you might have, after cable, gone like sewage, or you might have gone dam, and in the meantime while you went dam, a team from sewage came to cable, and etc. And like, it's a lot easier to like by accident avoid enemies, dodge enemies, and just not have fights. And as someone who likes PvP and likes mid-range PvP, that's why I play Northridge. Yeah, I want to like be able to find people and not have even less fights than before. I think this sums it up really well. I believe both maps have their advantages. I generally heavily prefer normal Northridge, and I would just wish crossing the river and the removal of some of the red spots are then implemented to normal Northridge as well as soon as it comes back to it. That would be amazing. And yeah, like I'm gonna keep playing Northridge because I like the map. I think it's a great map. Probably the best map in the game, at least in my opinion. Right, so let me know if I missed something that you've noticed. Again, the developers don't really mention everything in the dev blog, like the removal of the red spots. I don't know why. I think map changes are important to write down in your patch notes, but hey. If I missed anything, let me know, and in general, let me know which one you prefer. Thank you, and have a nice day.